Stellar XLM XDC Quant true interoperability with the ISO 200 2022 standard, the standard that banks and big businesses, institutions recognize and want to use. This is how trillions of throughput from markets such as Forex, derivatives, commodities will flow through Stellar and Quant and other blockchains like Hyperledger, XRP, Algorand, IOTA. These are all primed for success in the future when this blockchain interoperability standard is at its head. But we need to think about how this has come into fruition. Who's involved in this? How has it come about? Well, if you saw in my previous video, connecting the dots with Dot, you'll know that at the end I said we need to talk about Gilbert Verdian. So in this video today, we're going to be looking into Gilbert Verdian's site and seeing what he has to say and how this has all come about. So without further ado, Nathan, please take it away.
Hey, so this is Gilbert Verdian's website. It's this blog post on this site is quite old. It's from 2017. The technological convergence of blockchain and AI to power the fourth industrial revolution. So it really does go into the idea of using AI coupled with blockchain to really move into the future of finance, that being the fourth industrial revolution. So reading forward, the more data artificial intelligence has, the more accurate are the outcomes and predictions. Due to the foundations of internet architecture and underlying nature of the internet, we are limiting the type of data algorithms have access to and how they access them. So the whole approach really is for Quant is through AI, which is fine. You know, you got these algorithmic coins that haven't proved to be successful, but it is for algorithms to work well, for actually AI to work well, it needs to have a wealth of information. Not just that, it's a tried and tested application, so it has to fail numerous times before it's actually successful and continues to be successful, because it learns every time what to do and what not to do. That's the idea with AI. And you know, there's various AI programs that you'd see, like Musk has got one really good sort of, I think it's OpenAI, that it's pretty strong. You know, it's really good. I've tried and tested it. But anyway, moving on, this is Gilbert Verdian's post, if I haven't said so already, and it's on his website, and he really does talk about decentralized interconnectedness of blockchains, and this kind of blockchain provide a human-to-human or machine-to-machine trust without any of the parties needing to know or trust each other. For the first time, we can honor the original vision of the internet to create an open, trusted network for people, machines, and data to operate, but without the original flaw of having to know everyone in a network. The convergence of AI. For AI to be effective, it needs a constant stream of data to process to improve its algorithms, accuracy, and outputs, as I said earlier. Again, really, Verdian just talks about the application of AI into blockchain in the first section of this post. It's ideal to read through it, but what we're interested in is the juicy bits where he's got involved in the ISO 2022. And here he goes on: we are experiencing some of the challenges today with blockchain. As soon as we connect the various closed blockchain networks to each other, we will see the emergence of a new blockchain internet. It was this idea that I used to create the genesis of the blockchain ISO standard TC 307, and that's the technical committee of the ISO standard 222. And if you look in my previous videos, you can see how they're all interconnected. And as I said in the previous video, Verdian was the founder of this TC 307, and he says so on his website. And obviously his vision is, what we have done in Quant is to create a blockchain operating system called Overledger, which sits on top of the existing and future blockchains. The system allows for the ability to reach, that's meant to be reading right, spelling mistake, of data between various blockchains, respecting the rules of each blockchain, such as consensus. So it doesn't want to change the consensus mechanisms on each of the blockchains. It's going to respect those consensus mechanisms, but sit on top of that for true interoperability. We're excited to be able to shape the evolution of the two foundational technologies of AI and blockchain, and help foster innovation to develop new and revolutionary technologies. So he goes in and he talks about high time for blockchain standards as technology advances from groundbreaking to almost innocuous every day and even primitive. Its multiple variations settled to a standard, whether organically or through formal discussion. Standardization forms are an essential part of technology's adoption. Curve and blockchain distributed ledger technology, DLT, are no exception. One of the key people sounding the clarinex for blockchain standardization sat down with the team to explain why we should be thinking standards. So you could see clearly that he's been talking with a lot of people about standardization and and where to take Quant and to make sure that it has a future. And this is where he is. So let's talk about what he's about. With a 20-year history in cybersecurity, Gilbert Verdian has held several C-level roles across many respected organizations and public institutions such as VocalLink, NSW Health, HM Treasury, and the Federal Reserve. Gilbert was also recently awarded the much sought-after title CISO of the Year in June. We asked Gilbert how it was that he first came across blockchain and why he thought it was the right time to talk standards. Gilbert told us of how he had provided the first spark of conversation within the corridors of Westminster while at HM Treasury, Her Majesty's Treasury in the UK, when he spurred senior officials to assess and consider Bitcoin and its impact in the UK back in 2008. It wasn't until 2014, during his work at the Australian government's Department of Health, that he was able to work on building blockchain solutions. In this instance, it was a solution to solve long-standing issues with health record interoperability and security, and that's actually happening in the UK today. Health records are being used in our healthcare system, so DNHS. So this activity ultimately resulted in a wide decision about compliance and standards, campaigning initially for better understanding from government and regulators. Gilbert could see beyond the initial use case of secure data sharing in health IT to a cross-industry, multifunctional application of blockchain. So he's really chimed in and weighed in with high-level government officials to try and push forward this this blockchain standardization idea, which is great because, you know, we're just going to reap the rewards from that. So really, like, if you read through his blog post, he sort of gives you an idea of his track record, who he's worked with, like the FCA. He's worked with the Bank of England, trying to collaborate with the, you know, real-time gross settlement, DRTGBS. You know, really sort of providing the blueprints for it to move forward for a safe and secure interoperability, like, you know, traditional finance to blockchain, that banks, central banks, like really providing the blueprint for that safe and secure interoperability with the standard ISO 200/2022. Looking at this question, what will be the challenges to growth and adoption? So here the answer A, the market is dispersed at the moment, so challenge will be to herd everyone in the right direction. There are no barriers or parameters currently in place to enforce controlled adoption. In the UK, this is being encouraged, including through technology partners in the ISO process, partners that are a part of standardization work, such as Hyperledger, IBM, so Hyperledger through IBM, and R3, that are building blockchain technology that can take progress, updates, and thinking around the standard back to their organizations and products. The output will be that people building the technology will deliver solutions that are truly interoperable and compatible with standards. And we can see that today. We've got the open source, especially for Stellar, we've got the open source software, institutional grade software, that is obviously built with the ISO 200/2022 standard in mind, to interoperate with institutes, business to business, banks to banks, you know, blockchain to blockchain through Hyperledger Fabric, you see. So really, Verdian's vision is sort of coming to fruition. And you know, as I say, his blog post, his website is worth a read if you want a really good insight. But anyway, that's me for today on Gilbert Verdian, the Quant founder. And I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day. Okay, that's great. Thanks, Nathan. So we know who Gilbert Verdian is. He's responsible for Technical Committee 307. But is there anything actually in the ISO standard connecting Stellar? Are they on a committee as such or anything? Let's check out the next video, connecting Stellar to ISO 200/2022. And remember to like, subscribe, smash the Zioncoin up there. And I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day now.